Hello.
Hello.
I'm going to apologise in advance for the barking dog. But she's not in the same room, so it shouldn't kill headphone users like it did earlier. Sorry, Lisa.
I know.
She was
Shit me
over
off.
there and started barking.
Oh gosh.
She was
It's
literally in the
scared to go
garden. Anyway, how are you both?
I'm great.
I'm good. I've got a busy afternoon ahead of me, but
Yeah, that was the most sarcastic great I've ever given in my life. I am just existing in this hell of exams are in not very long.
oh no.
So I've been studying all morning. This is my nice relaxing break. And then I have a 2.5 hour practice exam to do as soon as we're done here.
Oh.
Make sure you make yourself a cup of tea before you do that.
I've been studying in reading sprints today.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't get as much done as I wanted to, but
It's better than nothing, though. You were still productive.
True.
So.
True that.
Hello.
Hello.
You
did.
Hey. So, what did everyone rate it?
4.
I mean, are we shocked that it was a 5?
No.
I've never given a Cassie book anything other than a 5.
I mean, I do have reasons that aren't non-spoilery reasons in the fact that it's the 3rd time I've read it. So the first time it was definitely a 5, but I feel like it's my kind of fault for rereading it because all of the shock factor goes.
Yeah.
So you kind of, I knew from page 1 exactly what was going to be happening. So it just kind of brought everything down a touch, which overall dropped it a start. But it's a good story. I just didn't appreciate it as much this time.
I think this is where I got to in the actual series that I was watching. So after this, everything will be a total surprise. But I think my reasons are spoilery, so I'll wait till later for that. Yeah.
Hello.
My non-spoilery thoughts are you could definitely tell it was like the first in a new series.
Yeah.
Everything sort of starts over again.
I think that's probably the main reason why it was a 4, because it just felt like build up to the book 3, and I was like, wow, book 3, like, brilliant. And it was like, I was like, oh, okay.
I do think this is my least favourite of the 6, but even my least favourite still gets 5.
I think when I first read them, because I only ever got to number 5, so I think when I first read them, this was my favourite. Because it's just like, oh my god, there's these massive, huge, spoilery things that happen, and everything's like so frustrating, and then like, oh, I don't know what to feel.
Yeah.
But when you know the frustrations that are coming, you're like, wow, don't feel like that because this is going to happen in 10 pages. Like,
yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah. I gave it 5 stars. Glad I could make it. Rated this one 4 stars. 3 stars, worst book so far. I mean, even though it's a 5-star for me, I completely get where you're coming from.
Yeah.
My fave so far.
Oh.
Tony's the same as me.
Yeah.
I'm never gonna get less than 5 stars. 3.5 stars. This one was the one that definitely felt like the build up for what's to come without too much happening at the same time.
Yeah.
Definitely. And I do think it would have maybe been better if it had been done as 2 trilogies instead of a 6-book series that still set out like 2 trilogies. Because it literally has a first book in a series feel. And I think that's the issue some people have with it, that it doesn't feel like the 4th book in a series. It feels like, because it's a brand new thing.
Yeah.
So, but just
the excitement kind of drops where you're like, wait,
yeah,
all this stuff just happened and now you're telling me who Simon is. Like, I'm very confused.
Yeah.
I know.
That was it for me, because like a series is supposed to be like, you expect it to like build and build and build and build. And then this is like, you get really excited, and like book 3 ends the way it does, and then you're just like, right, okay, let's get on with the rest of the series now, because like things are starting to really happen, and then it's like, oh, Simon's a vampire. I was like, oh, well, we know. Kind of knew that for a while now.
Also, I just looked down at my notes and realised I was looking at the City of Glass notes.
Oh,
It's fine. I'm
Come
looking
on,
at the
keep up.
right one now. When I finished it and read the Goodreads reviews, I thought, did I read the same book?
oh,
Yeah, a lot of people really hate this one. So it's like weird when you don't hate it. And you're like, oh. I think it was mostly a 3.5 for me, but I love the new characters we got. Yeah.
Yes, I do love the new characters.
Hello. Don't think the books are as good on a reread, but not sure if it's because I knew the shock twist elements or because I'm growing out of some YA books or series.
Mhm.
It's possible. It's probably a bit of both, to be fair. Yes, we're gonna talk about the Malik stuff.
Yeah, I just wanted to throw Alec off a cliff.
Hello, stuck at work, so we'll catch up later.
Yeah, yay.
Ended up giving this book a 3-star.
Ooh.
Most of the book was building up to the end, but this is probably my 3rd or 4th reread, so unfortunately I knew everything that was going to happen, but still enjoyed it. Yeah, this is my 4th time reading these ones, so I do love getting more Simon, even if he was an idiot, which we're going to come to that.
I have thoughts.
That is a standard Simon thing, though, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's worse when it's your favourite character.
Yeah.
But yeah, love Clary and Izzy bonding, but Alec.
It's a definition of pushing someone away that you care about, isn't it?
Not even that. Just we need this to be a brick wall and just.
Yeah, he's
I really hurt my own head then. That's too much force. Oh.
So the first thing, let's talk about Simon, because he annoys me in this book so much. Because what a dick move dating them both.
But where did the audacity come from, though? Like,
Hang on. Can we just appreciate page 1, right? Page 3. Sorry, did we know they were dating? It was just kind of like there was no.
Yeah.
This happened. It was they'd been dating regularly for the past month or two. Amazed him, and I'm like, they have. But excuse me. What?
Yeah, it comes out of nowhere.
Yeah.
And it's like, okay.
Although they did sleep together in the last. Was it the last one?
Oh yeah, I forgot about that.
They slept together in the last one, but obviously that was just because Izzy was feeling guilty about Max.
Yeah.
Did they sleep together?
They definitely slept in the same
did.
room.
Yeah. They definitely did something that kind of hinted at maybe they did sleep together.
Yeah.
Because he was all like Cheshire Grin and
Yeah.
Is there? Who the fuck is? Yeah, Clara was like, what's this?
There was
on here?
some fraternising overnight. What happened?
To be fair, that's real. Simon would be like that even if he just kissed her.
Yeah. You just like,
This is what I
mean.
mean.
Like,
It goes from like nerdy, can't get any girls, like unrequited love with his best friend, to like, I'm dating 2 girls, a werewolf, a shadow hunter. Like,
the thing is, you can't be mad at him for too long, because, to be fair, no one talked about being exclusive. There was no official labels. They were literally just dating. So
I still don't agree with doing that.
It's not cheating because they wasn't exclusive.
they weren't together, but
yeah.
I still don't agree with dating 2 people at the same time. So for me, it might not be cheating, but it's still wrong.
It's when it's in the early days. It's before you have those conversations. And then when you have those conversations, that's when you're at the level of a relationship where you're like, okay, now don't date multiple people. And I don't feel like they'd actually spoken.
I feel like I personally wouldn't do it, but I can get it.
Yeah.
Right. Only
I'm in the
because
same
I could not handle that drama.
I'm in the same situation as Chloe, but I feel like if you're trying to date somebody and you're trying to see whether you two are going to work, then you need to put your all in it regardless. Like, rather than splitting yourself between two people and being half and half, because it's never really going to truly be like an authentic thing, even if you haven't had that conversation yet. So for me, I don't think I could do that. But it comes from a girl who's never had a one night stand in her life, and people think I'm weird for that. So
Same
you know
here.
what I mean? Like, so yeah, for me, it's like, if I'm gonna try and go down that route with someone, it's a one person thing, and if it don't work, fine, move on. But especially when they're friends as well. Like, it's bad enough as it is, but when they're friends,
like they know each other.
Yeah.
There are mutual friends who will tell them what's going on.
Opportunities for them to be in the same room. Like, how are you going to work around?
Yeah, he was like, "Oh, I invite them to alternate gigs." I'm like, "That's just... how many gigs are you getting? You're supposed to be awful."
Yeah. Simon was loving life at this point. Oh god.
So on the subject of the band, they have a new band member.
Oh yeah, got that in for a second.
I knew he was fishy from the moment we met him.
Yeah. No one's going to try and join that band.
No, exactly. I'm sorry, the way they describe him as well, and as obviously if you've seen the series, you see what he looks like, and you're like, dude, this isn't happening.
But also, I've known him like all of 5 minutes. Like, you can come stay at my place.
Yeah. Exactly.
Simon, red flag. He's a stranger.
Conveniently got a spare room that conveniently has things in it that you love, that are your taste. Like,
no one on his sort of job can afford a 2-bedroom apartment in any city.
No.
That right there is fishy.
I'm just trying to find all the different band names because I'm sure there were like 4 in the first 3
bands. I love that they still argue about the band names as well, though.
Dangerous Stain. And I can't even pronounce this one. Dichotomous lemur? How do you even say that?
Dichotomous lemur.
That's the word. Dichotomous lemur. I don't even know what it means, but
neither do I.
This is the most accurate comment. Why is it always so? This is the first time actually reading them back to back. It's cool to see how her writing improves.
That's the true. That's the true.
Wait until you get to the dark artifices. There's Bill. I love Simon. The drama. Yet to be fair, they're teenagers. There's a lot of drama.
It's gonna be that one of those that goes, "Am I the drama? Am I the villain?" It's gonna be that guy.
Wanted to slap him. Yeah, I wanted to slap him and be like, tell them the truth and pick one if they want to still know you. That is. It was like the stories I make up in the Sims.
Yes.
Power of a Vampire.
What does he call it? It's like Vampire Mojo or something like that.
I mean, in Vampire Diaries, it's compulsion, but in other things, it's glamour.
Oh no, I just mean he thinks he's sexy.
He calls it Vampire Mojo, yeah.
Yeah.
Or his friend calls it Vampire Mojo.
Yeah,
he told his friends, hasn't he? What dick tells the friends? Like, yeah, especially his friends that aren't really friends, they're just bandmates.
Yeah.
Like, dude, I'm a vampire. They're like, yeah, dude, Vampire Mojo. I'm like, you know.
I always laugh at the goal Simon had to be going with those two guys. Like,
Fabio. I'm gonna call him Fabio now.
Simon was just loving his life. I mean, if I was dating both of them, I would be loving life too. Let's be real. I got so frustrated when it was getting close to the party. You needed to just grow some balls and tell them.
Yeah.
You're right, it's not cheating, but he knew he needed to speak up, especially when he's arranging for them. Yeah, and especially when he's talking to Clary about it, and Clary's like, you need to talk to them. And he's like, yeah, I know. And then he doesn't. Like,
yeah.
Nobody called Kyle is going to be trustworthy.
Agreed.
Now I think about that, that is so true.
I only know one Kyle and it works.
Yeah.
I remember my first time reading and not suspecting Jordan at all. I was so shocked. See, I wondered what the hell was up with him, but I didn't suspect that.
Yeah.
But then he was like being really weird around Maya, and it was like,
I thought it was going to be like the enemy, like trying to set a trap kind of thing. I didn't know it was going to be that. I didn't expect that. That came out of left field. I was like, whoa.
Yeah, I was just kind of like, why would you agree to live with a stranger? This guy obviously doesn't have the best intentions, but I didn't know what those intentions were. I was like, you're just going to be nervous. Like, this is not...
To be fair, Simon's quite able to just like not care right now, because if anyone tries to kill him, the Mark of Cain is just going to keep him safe. Yeah, 2-bedroom apartment in New York City as a delivery driver.
Yeah.
Bit sus. Simon and his friends are like typical teenage boys. They do not care he's a vampire. I think this might be the first time rereading City of Fallen Angels onwards. Ooh.
Oh.
How did he not have a preference?
They are two very different girls.
It's like he wanted to have the best of both worlds, because he got the nerdiness with Maya, but then Izzy is Izzy.
Yeah.
See, this is what I mean. Like, he got the friendship from Maya. I don't really think there was any sort of like, she's pretty, obviously, but I think the sexual attraction was more towards Izzy, whereas he didn't feel like he could have like the kind of friendship and banter that he had with Maya. So, like, if you put both girls together, put them in one person, it'd be fine. But I just don't feel like he ever saw Maya as like girlfriend potential.
No.
It was more like friends with benefits kind of thing with her.
Yeah.
So yeah.
I wasn't the biggest fan of Jordan at first, but I think he's growing on me a bit.
Oh, you can get in the bin and still don't like him.
Jordan does grow on me in the next book.
I'm just still not a fan.
He's not my favourite character, but I like him a lot more in the next book. I kind of thought Jordan was working for Raphael when we started showing up at first.
That would make sense.
That would make sense.
I really like Izzy. She has to be one of my favourites. Yeah, and can we just appreciate how amazing she looks on the cover?
Yeah. I know.
Yes.
I just want all those runes tattooed on me, and I have no idea what half of them fucking mean right now, but...
Just get them all.
Just get them all.
I agree with this 100%, Lottie. I would because I wanted to step on me. Yes.
You want the whip, don't you? You want to get the whip out, Lottie.
I'm trying to keep it slightly PG here as it's 3 p.m, but my brain is whirring.
Same like Jordan's one of my favourite characters near the end. Yeah, as the series goes on, he does grow on you. But can we, on a sad note, how much did your heart break when Simon had to compel his mum to forget?
Oh, that was so sad.
Oh, I cried.
Because she was like so scared of him. That's the bit that got me.
Yeah.
And like I'm praying and everything, and it's like, no. Like I just wanted to hold Simon and be like, it's okay.
Just that was horrible. And then he was like, I need to undo it. Oh God. That broke my heart.
Every time. Like I genuinely couldn't imagine having to do that. Like I just no.
Well, he's an idiot that she found out that way, because obviously she was left with time to think the worst. Rather than him just coming out, using the leaflet that Luke gave him, for fuck's sake. And coming out in the right way. This is the definition of being outward. You know what I mean? And so she had time to sit there and think worst case scenario. And yeah, it was just horrible.
I love how she was into is it drugs? It's like, no, he's just dead.
I don't know whether the best choice would have had to been yes. Like, how else are you going to get out of that? Is this drugs? Yep, definitely.
I knew it, Lottie. I knew it.
I cried at that. Hello. Yeah, it literally, I think that might have been the first blue bit, because blue is, it makes me sad or makes me cry, or both. And was that the first one? That actually wasn't the first one. I don't know what the other one was. Because I didn't annotate this one, I kept forgetting. The bit with his mum is so sad because you can understand her being afraid, but it's still her kid.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I don't know if it's already discussed, but how do we feel about what happened with Simon Mayer and Izzy? Yeah, we kind of wanted to slap Simon.
Okay.
Tell him to sort it out. Pick one, not date both.
But Izzy clearly has more feelings for him than she was willing to let on because of how she reacted, which makes me want to slap her because I'm just like,
Tell
tell him
him
how you feel. Yeah. Just communicate.
You can. You've had him since book 1. Just go for it.
Exactly.
Just stop not talking.
Mm-hmm.
Keyword here: communication. Like, that's one thing about these books. The lack of communication between characters causes so much drama.
Yeah.
Children.
And I know we wouldn't have a book without it, but still.
Right, don't mind me. I'm grabbing a blanket. I'm only here. Got chilly.
The other thing that made me really sad is Jace's nightmares.
Oh, I know.
I just want to wrap him up in bubble wrap because he's been through too much.
I think I wrote something funny.
That's something funny. About his torturous nightmares.
I just put, oh, Jace, you tortured soul.
If you look up tortured soul in the dictionary, it's just a picture of Jace Herring.
Holding his knees and crying.
That for me was just like I said, because I think this is the point where, like, this whole book, like, at the end of this book, I think that's where I got up to, like, watching the series. So when I was watching the series as well, I think that's when Dom plays it really well. Like, because they really make you feel for him. But like, this whole book, I was just thinking of, like, the characters in the series.
Yeah.
How they out. But yeah, genuinely was just like proper. Can you imagine though? Like, killed, brought to life, and then you're like, yay, I can finally get to be with the girl that I love. Oh, I can't because I'm dreaming about it.
The thing is, just on a side note about the whole, like, the like rune ritual thing that's done at birth, Jace would know about this.
Yeah.
So why is he not thought about it? Clary gets a free pass. She's only just been, like, pushed into this world. Jace was born into this world.
He should know what happens.
Yeah. And I get that it's
probably he's not going to be thinking straight, is he?
Yeah, I get that it's a bit, like, awkward because he's not technically just been born, but he's been reborn. So
it might not have clicked with him though. It might not have, because obviously, if you think about it, that's all happened. That's the last thing he's going to be thinking about. So if he'd have sat down and thought about it logically without the nightmares, like, plaguing his brain, he'd have been like, oh shit, yes. But
thank you, Ellie. Thank you.
Oh, and I don't know if they actually covered it, but what does that mean? Like, I can never actually say her name right because it's always been Clary in my Clary. I don't even know anymore. I always say it not how you say it in my head, and then I get confused.
But I always say Clary.
Yeah, I always say Clary in my head, but Clary while I'm here. What about her? Like, surely she has to have these things. I got confused of, like, okay, he hasn't got them. That's why everything's going on. But, like, she hasn't either.
I think she does, but obviously she doesn't remember because Magnus Bane got rid of her memories years ago. So that's obviously something that's not actually come back because she hasn't got all of her memories back from those years.
I think my confusion is, like, so her mom runs away with her either way. I can't remember whether she was pregnant or she'd had her. But it's the Silent Brothers and the Iron Sisters who do it. But the Silent Brothers didn't know her when they met her. So, like,
I think there was. I don't know if it's been mentioned, but it is somewhere.
Oh, it's somewhere out.
It is said, but I can't remember, so I don't want to say. But I'm pretty sure I remember it being explained about that. I don't know if it's in the next book or, like, City of Heavenly Fire or something, but I'm pretty sure that is touched upon.
I was confused.
Yeah.
Now I'm thinking.
But yeah,
cogs are going.
Yeah.
Miss Claire does love her miscommunication tropes.
I want to slap her for these miscommunication jokes.
I think the issue with Simon and his mum hit me more when watching the show, since it included his sister and went into more detail.
Yes. Oh my god, that literally broke me in a billion pieces watching that.
And Alberto Rosende is just as Simon. He just plays that part just perfectly. That was the only good thing about that show, the casting. I know this is probably going to be discussed as well, already has been, but I'll see if it is. Yeah, we are going to get.
We'll get
Alex. I am thoughts. Did it happen for him as a baby since he was raised by Valentine? Yeah, so he would have been born normally, and I imagine Valentine would have had to that because Valentine was Michael Wayland, so he would have had those protections put on him.
Oh yeah, because Jocelyn was still around because he was first, so that would have all just gone normally.
Yeah. So I feel like he definitely would have had those put on him at birth.
Yeah.
And obviously he died and been brought back, so it's all fresh.
All fresh.
As I thought, surely he would have considered this when the dream started, but then there wouldn't be that part of the plot. And also
it's basically a traumatic event.
He started getting into her brain.
Sorry, Lottie's comment.
I mean, this is true. I mean, that's where the dreams start off.
Yeah. They're really
Instead,
nice.
he shoves something else into Clary.
Not the kind of kink you want, though, is it? It's like,
some people are into that.
Pure death, a bit too far.
Why didn't you read Den of Vipers?
Okay, no one dies, all right?
Well, not during that anyway.
Well, yeah, fair point.
I know his feelings are further explained in the next book, but it's like you 2 steps forward with your character development and took a giant leap back. Yeah. But I do think you have to remember, like, this is Alex's first relationship, and he's only 18. He is only 18. He's still young. He's still a baby.
I mean, I get deadly jealous thinking about Cole's ex-girlfriends. I want to kill them. So, like, one of them literally just got married and has a baby, and I'm like, but what if she turned up one day? she shouldn't be around here anymore. She doesn't even live in his town, but
it's automatic reactions. Like, you can't control it.
It's just like, these people should not exist. This isn't allowed.
Thought Jocelyn was only pregnant with Clary, and the only contact she had was with Magnus. I'm pretty sure she had contact with Katarina as well.
Oh yeah, she did, yeah.
But I'm sure it's mentioned somewhere. Did Jem do Clary's protection spell, or am I getting confused?
Who's Jem?
Spoiler. Keep going.
Yeah. That didn't click then.
Don't worry about it, Lisa.
Thank you. I knew it was explained.
Yeah,
I knew.
As soon as I read that comment, I was like, yeah, keep going. I know what it is now.
Yeah, my brain didn't register that. Forget how different the show is from the books. I don't remember it going into this much detail in the show. Yeah, it didn't. The show changed a lot. Yeah. A lot.
No, well, you still got the nightmares, and you still got the thing.
Yeah, but they changed a lot, especially in the last 2 books. They just rushed, because there's 6 books, but only 4 seasons, and the 4th season was a short season. They rushed this book onwards. The show.
Yeah, because I don't really. The next book is absolutely massive, and I remember parts of the show that are covered in that book, and I remember rereading the book and being like, wait, this all happened in like 3 episodes. Yeah. What's going on here?
Yeah, it's so rushed in the TV show. It's one of the reasons I hate the TV show.
Moving on.
So on to, I mean, we've been talking like some spoilers, but I feel like now we're going to get into like more spoilers. Simon biting Maureen.
Oh.
That. I did not think he was going to do that.
I thought he was going to do it. I mean, obviously I've read it before, but I thought he was going to do it. But then I just felt so bad for him, because you can tell he didn't want to, but it'd been going on so much about how hungry he was and how he was ignoring it. And I'm like, well, we know where this is going. You can't keep ignoring it.
That to me was just like, and what the actual fuck kind of moment. I had to just, I actually forgot that happened from watching the series. So that was just like, oh fuck.
Like, he felt so bad about it as well, and I just, again, wanted to wrap him up in bubble wrap and tell him everything was going to be okay.
Yeah.
And then Marine's body is found. Like,
that was so horrible. Like, we're going to kill your girlfriend. So he does the loop of his girlfriends, and he's like,
he even includes Clary, because it's like, oh, I hang out with her a lot. Maybe someone thinks that she's my girlfriend. Completely forgets about the girl that's obsessed with him, going around telling everyone that she's his girlfriend. And it's like, oh.
Well,
like, and his realization.
In all fairness, you shouldn't lie about being someone's girlfriend, should you? So,
I mean, she was like 13.
Yeah.
I think I told people Justin boyfriend. Justin Bieber was my boyfriend when I was 13. So like, no one was killing me.
But yeah, that whole storyline, and then like Jordan's like, no, I definitely she was fine. She was fine. And it's just like, obviously not. She's dead. Revving his engine again. That's really distracting. Oh, I'm sorry. I think she
Would you care to elaborate?
Please elaborate on that.
We picked this up at a wrong time.
When we thought Marine was dead. She comes into it later.
Yeah, I forgot about that completely.
Yeah. There were 3 seasons, but then season 4 was like 3 episodes or something. So it wasn't a full season, but they did it to wrap it up, because that's when it had got cancelled, and they wanted to do enough so that they wrapped it up. They didn't wrap it up. Alec and Magnus casted in the show is everything. Like,
true. Yeah. No truer word was ever spoken.
I lived for the Marine and Simon thing, especially how it goes in the next books. Yes.
Oh yeah, no, there's season 1, 2, 3, and then season 3B.
Oh yeah, everyone just refers to it as season 4.
Season 3B.
Genuinely,
makes no sense. Just call it season 4.
Yeah, there's 20 episodes in season 2 and 10 in season 3.
Yeah.
It was poor. Anyway, sorry, I got distracted by that. I'm back.
Yeah, so it's interesting how that whole thing goes. And we won't say any more on that. Hopping on these for a bit because I love the book so much, and the in-laws just left, thank God. Welcome. I thought something like that would be coming. No, my favourite. Magnus and Alec are the best.
Oh,
yeah.
Not poor Maureen.
Poor girl.
Annoying person gets karma. Oh, not the dying part. She deserved getting bitten. Oh, okay. I thought you meant she deserved to die.
She's 13.
Obviously, Simon is old enough to care for himself, but it was Carl's job to watch over him, and he didn't notice what was going on and get him some blood. I can somewhat forgive Jace. Yeah, Jace was going through his own stuff, and it was like Jordan was... I feel like Jordan was too focused on the fact that one of Simon's girlfriends is his ex-girlfriend, and like all common sense on what he should be doing just went out the window. Like, bye-bye. It's gone. Because he was more focused on the fact that Simon was going to end up hurting Maya.
Mm-hmm.
Which, not that he turned into a werewolf or anything like.
Not going to hurt Maya as much as you did, dude. Like, you literally changed her life, and not in a good way.
Oh, God.
we could have had a whole series about Magnus and Alec. I mean, the eldest curses books.
I did not know that.
We're going to get to that. I love them. I need the third one though because it's not out yet. She just loved to die. She's a child.
Really? Oh, she wants to fantasize about a boyfriend in a band.
We've all had that moment where we've been like, "It's my boyfriend." It's not.
It's not.
It's not.
It's not.
This was to Magnus and Alec being favourite. How did no one question Maureen about Simon being her boyfriend? He's like nearly 17 and she's 12.
I have a thought though, but I don't know how spoilery it gets. The person who has presumed that that's correct doesn't really have the most accurate understanding of human ages and how things work. Like, they're just like, person. Okay, cool. Like that. Not really going to be considering whether the ages match up.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, let's talk about Magnus and Alec in this book.
Alec can get the bin, I'm sorry.
Right. I understand that he is doing the whole jealous boyfriend thing of the exes, but he's got to think Magnus has been around a hell of a long time. Magnus didn't spend the first however many centuries of his life just waiting for Alec to be born and be old enough to have a relationship with.
I do think, because I can't work out the actual timescale between first book and this book, but they obviously haven't had the conversation that not everyone in Magnus's past has been male. So that may have come as a shock. If you've not had that conversation and gone, sorry, she's a woman, that's like, didn't think you liked them. Like, that would come quite shocking, I think, if you haven't had that conversation.
I think in the past he has said he's been with other people. Not necessarily specified it was males. But even so, I think with Alex's, like, there's fair enough being jealous, but literally just lashing out at him in front of everybody.
And sulking.
In front of everyone. Like, just, like, out of the blue. Because, like, they went from, again, I think it's the whole time jumping thing. And how Simon suddenly got two girlfriends. And suddenly Alec and Magnus are at a stage where, you know,
they're off on holiday.
They're off on holiday and just fucking getting moody with him. I'm just like, why? What was the whole point in this whole storyline? What was the point in that bit?
Yeah,
I don't get it.
And doesn't Alec at one point make a comment like, "Oh, was she your girlfriend too?" And it's like, shut up.
I mean, saying that, I've said those exact words to Cole though, when because he was a bit of a lad at school, so he would just be dating everyone. And he was like, "Oh, I didn't do my homework. I just copied off this girl in this class and this girl in this class." And I'm like, "Oh, did you sleep with her too then?" So I have said those words, but I feel like I'm unique. And in this, it's obviously like, I think there's a foundation to what Alec is feeling, but he is not acting like an 18-year-old guy.
Yeah.
Like, he's now acting more teenage than the rest of the characters were in book one. It's like, mate, grow up, sit down, have a chat with yourself, have a mature adult conversation, and then move on.
And Magnus is trying to have that conversation with him, and Alec's just throwing a strop.
Yeah.
And it's like, if you actually want this to work, you need to grow up and talk to each other. Like, Magnus is trying, and like, I don't blame Magnus for like being like, dude. Like, because
I could understand Alex.
Long before.
Yeah.
Like, the first instance, I'd be like, right, no, until you grow up, I'm gone. Bye.
We're not continuing this conversation.
Yeah.
I could understand Alec being annoyed if Magnus was sort of like baiting him. Do you know what I mean? Or winding him up, or doing something to sort of trigger this continuous sulking mode that he was in. But he literally was trying to like reassure him the whole time, like, it's just you. It's just you.
There is
Like that's the past.
literally-
That's the past.
I wrote down a quote. You could give me the past, but Alec is my future.
Yeah.
It makes my heart happy when he says that. I'm just like,
It's just so
Alec
cute.
needs to grow up.
Mhm.
I can understand why Alec was shocked on meeting Camille, but from how he treated Magnus, it was like he expected him to be a monk for all these years. Magnus.
Yeah.
Exactly. Like, how can you not talk about that before having a relationship? Especially their relationship as well, because it's not just like a normal relationship. He's a shadow hunter who's only just come out and he's only 18.
Yeah.
And Magnus is like however old he is, warlock. Like,
Have the discussion.
talk. I understand why he was jealous. I'd like to know who these people are to a certain point. Yeah. But the thing is, if Alec was just like sat him down and be like, Alec's probably going to hurt, but tell me.
Yeah.
Like, but he doesn't. He just sulks about it and makes little digging comments. I think Magnus maybe should have told Alec that he was bi, so it wouldn't be so much as a shock. But at the same time, Alec was a bit out of hand with his reaction.
Yeah.
Yeah. Honestly, it was the whole. We're not going to talk about Will because we're not up to Will's books yet.
Because you can tell it's how they've been written. We're supposed to jump back and then forward. So I was reading it like, ooh, I know who that is. I have feelings now. But yeah.
You're going to be introduced to Will next month.
I was mentioned in this book anyway, weren't I? So...
Yeah, he was mentioned, but it didn't explain anything. So I think if we start talking about him, someone's going to slip up.
They are adorable.
Yeah.
That quote from Magnus is everything. Alec was getting jealous about future partners too, which is fair enough. But then Magnus is immortal. Yeah, he's got to understand that when Alec does eventually die, because he's not immortal. Magnus isn't just gonna then be like, that's it, because he could probably live for another 700 years or something. Magnus is not the type of person to not be getting some for 700 years.
Yeah. Give him 50 years to think about it, and then he'll be like, right, I'm on it now.
I've mourned him now. It's fine.
I understand that, and I also understand Magnus's part not addressing or being sympathetic to Alec's feelings. Yeah, it's lack of communication with them two, and Alec being a child.
Mm-hmm.
Or acting like one anyway. Okay, well, we go back a bit, but Clary going to that church place
by herself.
Right. How many more creepy, dangerous places is that girl going to go to on her own?
I have no feelings because it was just so dumb. Like the first, I can't remember when it happens, but the whole first half of the book, we're addressing the fact that she hasn't had the training she needs. And then she's like, she's going to go and investigate that, guys.
She doesn't even want to jump off the beams in the training room. Yet she wants to go and investigate somewhere that would possibly have something really dangerous there.
It's like, all these babies have got claws. It says they're from here. Come on.
Let's go to the place where the people who caused it might be.
I was literally like, you idiot, you've not learned of your
At least she messaged Izzy though, which is where the Clary and Izzy bonding starts, I think.
But she could have waited for her before going in.
Yeah, true.
Oh, thank God you're here.
She's going to wait on the corner here. Please hurry and we'll go in.
But the thing is, she's still book 4 not learned. That going off, just all gung-ho, not thinking about things, it never goes right.
No.
Why does she just not think? Maybe I should just wait a couple more minutes and wait for this person that I've just texted to meet me, so I will have backup. A trained shadow hunter that kicks ass with a whip. Fucking... I want to bash her against the wall, seriously.
This comment came just as we was starting talking about Clary being an idiot. Alec fully expects Magnus to have a single love of his life and nothing else. Yeah.
True.
Which if he had a normal human lifespan, then maybe.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I routinely make Cole tell me I'm the light of his life, but like he's probably going to die on the same time scale that I am. So that's
Why do these characters always go spooky or dangerous places on their own? They never learn. They don't. You could understand it if it was like Izzy, because she's very well trained.
Yeah.
I still don't think she should go somewhere like that on her own, but she's going to be able to defend herself a lot better than.
The thing is, she probably wouldn't go alone.
Yeah.
She'd be like, oh, this is a 2-person thing. Because she's not. Ow. Oh, that really hurt. Oh.
Yeah. I was really clear. I was like, Clary, stop. Wait. Slightly off topic, what book comes after the November? December, we will start the Dark Art of Isis, so it will be Lady Midnight. So I'll be posting the updated announcement with the next lot, probably around August, September time. So it gives people plenty of time. But I just didn't want to do it all in one video. So a bit nearer the time, I'll post the next order from December. But December will be Lady Midnight, which I'm very excited for. Dark Art of Isis is my favourite one.
I think I have them all now. No, I don't. I don't have Tales from the Shadow Hunter Academy yet. But anyway, sorry, I was just looking at the thing. My brain is everywhere. My brain is everywhere today. I'm just like distracted.
I don't like the fact that she doesn't tell people where she's going. Why doesn't she at least take someone with her? I don't like how impulsive she is. Yeah. It's like, because she knows she has some sort of like power because she's a shadow hunter, not a normal like mundane. It's like that doesn't automatically make her invincible. Shadow hunters, yes, do have like it in their blood, but they have to still train.
Yeah.
And be very well trained. And she didn't even put any runes on. Like, dude. Oh, that girl. She
just gets me every time.
Like, I don't hate her like some people do, but she is my least favourite character.
If anything, you've got like Shadowhunter equals a ready-made person who can take the training and the runes to become somebody who can do these things. So if you're just starting up, you're just the person then. Just a bit useless.
But even then, they're not invincible.
Oh,
like,
no.
And that's the thing. I feel like she thinks that Shadowhunters are invincible and that they're not.
But it's just like in book 1, yeah, fair enough. I still didn't agree with how she was acting, but you can kind of say she's new to it, yada yada yada. But book 4, people, you know, and all the crap they've all been through together, and the situation she's got herself in by trying to do things by herself and not listening to the people that are trained and know what they're doing, and she just doesn't learn from mistakes. And I'm like, dude, how many times can you do this to yourself and to the people that care about you? Like, just why?
Claire Rosie puts my head away. Like, I wasn't surprised by her stupid decisions by this book in the series. Yeah.
Oh, bugs me.
I know, and in the first half I was happy Clary was addressing her past mistakes and trying to make decisions, and then that happened.
I'm like, oh yay, she's finally training. Look at her go. And I'm like,
I'm sure a little more of their training would be don't go anywhere alone and tell someone where you're going. If it was Izzy going in by herself, I would have been worried for the demon.
True.
They should establish a body series with someone.
I was like,
Claire's got main character syndrome where she thinks nothing bad is going to happen to her because she's the main character of the book series. Yeah. Yes. And there needs to be consequences of her action.
Yeah. Yes.
I'm pretty sure she did.
Yeah, because Jace took it. She did lose one.
Again.
Oh, I hate the fact
that she lost now.
They must be expensive. They're not
too fucking many.
There must be a limited supply.
I messaged Becca when I was listening to the audiobook, and the narrators have changed and they call it a fucking stealer now. not a Stella. I'm like, a Steely? No, dude, where does this come from? It's a Stella. Oh my god, why? Stress.
I shouldn't be surprised that she's still making the same mistakes, but it's getting old at this point.
Yes.
It is.
Yes.
It is.
Yes. This is off the subject of Clary, but I really feel for Izzy, and I hate Maris a little bit in this book when Izzy's saying about how she literally was projecting onto 13-year-old Izzy when she found out her husband was cheating on her. Like, you don't do that.
Like, sorry, you hate her a little bit. I'm still like, no, don't like you at all.
I hate her like 100%. Despise a woman.
I get she's going through stuff at the moment because, you know, Max, but that wasn't an issue when Izzy was 13.
But there's that, and there's also way back near the front. It's only like 100 pages in. Maris and Robert seem to have accepted Alex's relationship with Magnus with surprisingly good grace, but Clary could tell that Maris at least didn't take it seriously. And I'm like, I know that feeling. You're a dick.
Yeah, I just think
every time she was mentioned, she was doing something that I'm like, are you okay? Like, why are you acting like this? So I don't like her at all.
She just is not a good mum.
No.
Or person.
No. Just like, you don't take your personal issues out on your kids or burden your kids with them. And even if you don't like the partner of one of your kids, you at least pretend and fake it. Just like, or at least try and get to know them, because she doesn't even know Magnus like that way. She knows him as the cheeky warlock. Do you know what I mean? And yes, again, he's lived for hundreds of years. He's going to have had dallies in the past. He's going to have played around in the past. But again, she doesn't know him like that. She just knows of him. She spends all the time in fucking Idris, pretending to be holier than thou. Like, she didn't know even fucking Adam. Like, get off your high horse and get to know someone, you daft bitch. Oh, she annoys me. She annoys me so much.
I can't stand her.
Take a long walk of a short period and be done.
She lose one happens at least once a book. And then this is on a Clary, stupid enough to believe Jace is better despite the fact that the brothers told her how long it would take. And he's just like, oh, it didn't take as long. Girl, are you stupid? The answer is yes.
Yes.
I also knew that was just like a fucking dumbass moment. Like,
But before that, the night of the gig, you know, where Simon bites Maureen, that scene in the alleyway.
Oh, I found that instantly. There's a lot of pink on that page. I was enjoying that. Actually, where are my texts to Cole? I'll explain how much I was enjoying that.
I don't think I actually marked it on here, but yeah, I was like, girl, get some.
I mean, I only read it Monday, so I should be able to find this.
Oh, what page is it on?
Well, so yeah, I've read the whole of TMI and I still don't like the woman. Agree. And do not like Maris. She not nice. Yeah, I don't think I made a note of it. Which is really
random. That's how I started the text. I'm gonna need you to snog me in the rain at some point. This book is getting to me. His response. Do we all want his response?
Yes.
Lol.
Oh,
that
God.
is disappointing.
I was like,
more for you. More disappointing for you.
Fine. But I was
Not the
like,
response you want.
and he's watched the show, and I'm like, but it's Shadowhunters, and he's like, control yourself.
No. Why would I do such a thing?
But yeah.
Sorry. I think can tell this book, I've been a lot in my own emotions lately for numerous reasons. But this book, I just projected my entire relationship into it and was like, so.
This is accurate, Lottie. Men. That's such a disappointing response.
I don't know
You
what I
wanted to get into it with even like, yeah, I'd do this, and then she'd be like, yes, boy.
Oh, no.
Lol.
I made a note, and I can't remember what it was that I made a note, but my note was someone get Jace some therapy, which, to be honest, the whole book. It was like page 270. And it was like where he was saying, I thought I was Jace Lightwood. I thought it was possible that my upbringing hadn't touched me. But now I wonder if maybe people can't change. Maybe I'll always be Jace Morgenstern, Valentine's son. He raised me for 10 years and maybe that's a stain that won't ever bleach out. And I was just like, oh, Jace.
I'm sure you said he also needs therapy in the last book as well, though. But
yeah, all of these books. He just
needs therapy.
I feel like they all need therapy for something or other.
True.
For some reason, Maris always seemed to treat Izzy so much more harsher than Alec, and I don't know why. I think maybe it's because she's the daughter, and I mean, she literally warns Izzy off men, and she doesn't want the same thing happening to Izzy. But Izzy's her own person, and you can't treat Izzy like, yes, all men are going to do this to you. Like, you don't put that sort of thought into a 13-year-old's head.
No.
Yeah.
Like, it's
I found this is the alley scene, and this bit down the side just says, 196. That bit just says, I'm going to run out of pink. Like, I genuinely wrote that now. So, I was enjoying this a fair amount. Trying not to break.
The only note thing I put a thing next to where like Isabel walks into the alley, and it's like, he's obviously not here. Go back to what you were doing. What's the point in wasting a perfectly good brick wall when you have someone to throw against it?
She knows. She knows.
Haven't read this and can't say, but just want to say hi. I love you guys. I hope you didn't hear anything spoilery. You're gone now. Hopefully this is a hi and a bye. All the characters would probably benefit from therapy. I feel like Maris and Robert need some like couples therapy.
Definitely.
So badly.
Yes, 100%.
Oh, and the couples therapy needs to be given by Luke and Jocelyn. That noise.
I feel like they're the only two that have got their stuff sorted. Like, they're doing well here.
Oh, Jocelyn's still a shit mum, but we'll
get
there. As a mum, she needs parental counselling, like how to be a good mum, and then she can counsel everyone else on how to have a healthy relationship. Yeah. Well, I say healthy. It's taken them this long to get to where they are, but currently healthy.
Okay, I've decided I'll join you all next month and reread Clockwork Angel. I wasn't planning to reread and jump on when you got to the point where I stopped, but this is too much fun. Honestly, I'm having the best time rereading these and talking to people about them because it's just so much fun. I mean, Izzy did fall for Simon. That is fair. But she didn't admit that. She acted like, yeah, it's just casual, it's just a bit of fun. Maybe if she had been very upfront with Simon from the beginning, he wouldn't have then gone and started dating someone else.
Communicate with people. What? This doesn't happen in these books.
Book 4 should have just been a whole therapy session. The characters really. Yeah. Just Luke giving the therapy, not Jocelyn. I feel like Luke is the only character that is actually smart in this entire series.
I would agree.
Luke is the only adult in the series that actually talks and listens to these people about their problems. Like, he's literally a father figure to everyone who needs it. And he's like, talks sense into everyone. And he's a good pack leader. He's just a good everything. Luke is the perfect man.
Yes, he is.
Hi, Emma. So back onto Maureen, because we're at that bit of my notes now.
Okay.
Apparently, she's not dead.
She's not dead. No, she's not.
Technically,
She's
undead.
She's undead.
Like, also,
I was kind of so mad. Oh, sorry.
Off topic. Just order the physical copies. Yay!
Yeah, I was mad because I was like, imagine being stuck at like 13.
Yeah.
16, 17, 18 is bad enough. But
Yeah.
13, a 13-year-old girl.
I feel like 22 would be a good age to be stuck at.
Yeah, like I don't even want to be stuck like this. I need to go back a little bit. So 13 is just hell.
Yeah, like that would literally be the worst. Like for like not even just life, for an eternal life.
For an eternity, you are partway through puberty, both physically and emotionally. Like, you need help.
Yeah.
I feel like I would just stick myself through the heart. Like, I don't want to be undead.
I'm good, thanks.
So we're getting to the end of the book, and surprise, surprise, Sebastian's body was never found. What does that always mean?
He's not dead.
Hey, never in any book, TV show, movie, anything. If there is no body found, that person is not dead. Simple.
As I said, no body equals not dead.
Mine literally says no body equals not dead.
Oh,
Great line.
But I love that I just added, as I said.
As per previous live show.
Yeah, so that was kind of obvious. Like the moment his body is not on the ground in book 3, you're like, he's not dead. He's coming back. Like, I wonder what the 4th, 5th, and 6th book's going to be about. But the little room Jace has, where Lilith is a thing now.
Lilith is a thing.
Lilith is a thing. And
there's a bit before we know that he's not, like, his body's there, and Lilith explains who she is, and I literally wrote, well, she's a big deal. Oh, I knew Adam before Eve did. I'm like, oh, get you, look.
Name dropping a bit there.
Yeah. It was a name drop, and she was like, oh, as someone who knew Cain personally. And I'm like, oh, all right.
Knew all the bastards in history, did you?
But yeah, I didn't like all the name dropping. Bit unnecessary.
Bit braggy.
But then saying that, I think this is the first book that I first book that I knew that the whole Lilith character thing was a thing. And then I was reading a lot of different like vampire stuff, and she'd come up, and I'd be like, oh, that's Adam's first wife. Like, I literally had never ever come across it. And then I was like, oh, that was in Shadowhunters. I know what that is. So
I love when you get that from like a fictional book.
Yeah.
And then like it just comes
but
up.
You missed the bit out about Camille.
Oh, we did, yeah.
Wait, which bit about Camille?
Being tied up in not a good way.
Oh. I tried not to like, just throw up at that. Trying to hold back the laughter.
It's the best way of me saying it.
Yeah.
I feel sorry for her. I did for a little bit. Felt kind of sorry for her.
I just always think of the worst with her. Like, I don't think.
Yeah, I don't like her.
I don't like the situation, but I'm sure she deserves it. Yeah. We just don't know why yet.
But I was surprised that you let her go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But that was his own like teenage boy feelings of wanting to know how, was it either he could live forever or Magnus would stop living?
Yeah.
One of the two. He was like, oh, that's more important than this really old man who's going for a walk.
So he like lets her go, and then he like gets distracted and looks away. Like, yeah, you're not seeing her again.
No,
don't look away from a vampire. You're lucky she didn't just like kill you then and there.
I know.
Like, don't turn your back on the enemy.
I still felt sorry for her though. Be left to waste away.
Yeah. I feel like when you meet a vampire that old, they probably deserve it, because no matter how nice a vampire is, like even if you was to like look at Simon, like after Simon's been a vampire for like 300 years, he would have done some stuff. No matter how nice they start out, that switch would have gone like at some point.
True.
So she probably deserves it. There's loads of comments. Oops. Luke is the best dad. Luke is never headed. Luke is the only sensible one in this series.
Agreed.
What was such a terrible
Maureen
twist?
being undead.
Yeah.
It was a pointless situation, to be fair.
Yeah.
I feel like things, from what I remember, it creates a plot point, but at the same time, I'm like, is it necessary? Probably not.
Yeah. Maureen is a vampire at 13, saying she's Simon's girlfriend is dangerous. Yeah, you can't do anything at that age. She's probably not even tall enough to get on certain rides at theme parks.
I'm not. I'm kidding. I just hit the thing every time.
I just hit it.
154 centimeters over here. We're doing good.
What could have happened if someone was actually paying attention? Yeah, like she's a little girl. She doesn't think of these things. And when you hear they never found Seb's body.
Yeah.
I love that.
I can't even pull that.
Not been saved and then killed to be stuck at 13 forever. Yeah, it's pretty crappy. Slightly off topic. Has it been rereading these books and watching Supernatural? I'm going to be honest. I watched the first 8 episodes of season 8 of Supernatural, and I haven't watched anything since because I've been watching Clone Wars and Bad Batch. I will get back to Supernatural eventually. What's the point of being thousands of years old if you can't name
Me and Adam, the besties.
And she's like, me and Jesus didn't really get on.
All the bad guys in this series seem a bit campy. Not necessarily a criticism, but very theatrical.
Okay.
Yeah. Everyone is so over the top.
Yeah.
Like, you can understand it from the teenagers, but these are like thousands of years old.
I feel like every bad character would strut into a scene. Like, no one's walking, they're all strutting. I think that's what the comment's getting at. But
yeah, I agree.
I remember reading the moment Seb come back first time, I was like, oh. Yeah. But like, you know he's not. If you're paying attention in book 3, you know he's coming back. Like, difference with Valentine in book 3, you see his body.
Yeah.
His body's there.
I was still adamant he was coming back. I was adamant something was going to happen. Like, they built up this big bad wolf, and like all this time it was like Valentine is so strong, he's this, is that, and then he literally gets killed. I was like, oh, where the fuck did you go from here? Like, I thought I'd at least give it a little bit more airtime. It's like, dude, you did.
You did.
You've been dead.
Magnus name drops all the time.
Yeah.
All the time. Lilith name dropping to prove she's a big deal. I get that, honestly. The only bad guys I really take seriously are the people in charge of the Shadowhunters that turn
That's a fair point.
Yeah.
I feel like in a movie, she'd be one of those people that would stand there and give a massively long monologue, and in that time they would like get the restraints undone and then like scurry away, and she'd turn around and be like, "Oh, I could have killed you with this big thing in my hand, but I decided to tell you how I was going to kill you first, and why I think that it was a good idea to kill you, and what my plan was." I'm like, "Fucking hell, shut up!"
That is pretty much what happens, though. Like, I've just turned to a page that's just Lilith talking, and then Clary being like, "Right, okay, what we doing here?" So,
See what I mean? This whole Lilith like showboat, and it's just like gives Alec and Izzy enough time to get there and like find them, and I'm like, this is going to be very conveniently wrapped up where Lilith somehow like doesn't succeed in what she's trying to do.
I will say, the first time I read it, I was really proud of myself because I saw how they were going to beat Lilith coming. I knew that it was going to be. I don't know why I'm beating around the bush. This is a spoilery talk.
I was like, wait, how do they do it? Tell me.
Like, literally, they've been focusing so much on Simon's Mark of Cain, and she's been so careful to not try and hurt him. I knew it was going to be him somehow jumping in front of her.
Hey, got you.
And it backfiring. And it's like, it is clever. It's clever, but I was more clever because I figured it out the first time.
And it's just highly convenient in it. Like,
yeah, it's like the most convenient way it can happen. Otherwise, they've got to make new like Shadowhunter lore that means this happens. We've already established he's got this thing. Let's just use it.
Yeah. It makes sense, but I do think it was like clever that she was like using Jace to get Clary because she knew Clary would trust Jace, not knowing that he was under her control.
And then
she knew that she could try and use Clary to get Simon to do what she wanted.
Yeah,
it is clever.
It is clever, but she's relying on how dense Clary is, because everybody knows that she would have just gonna fall for anything, weren't she?
Yeah.
Just make me laugh.
But I do like.
Sorry, I just got to shut the window.
But I do like how Mary actually remembered something she's been taught with the whole like if you cut a rune, like enough, it basically voids the rune. Because it's not often she actually remembers something smart and uses her brain.
She doesn't normally retain information, so
yeah, unless let's just run along into this.
Yeah,
unless it conveniently says a day.
Yeah. But yeah, I thought that was that she remembered that conversation with Luke and was like, oh, I can do this.
I think it was also really, really obvious though, wasn't it? It's like, oh, he's got this rune that's making him do this. And we're like, what have we been learning about runes this whole time?
What was Luke just telling Clary?
Oh, you can just get rid of it and we're all good to go. So do that now, please. Like it wasn't like it was some big thing that if we weren't paying attention we would have missed it. It was like, okay, we were physically told this in words. If you do this or this, it'll get rid of it.
I would have been more shocked if she hadn't done that. Yeah. It's just been like, and then it would have been like when they've somehow managed to sort it, him being like, why don't you just cut the rune? Luke literally told you.
Told you that. Do it.
That would have been more realistic, to be fair, for Clary's character.
True.
Also, one thing that I loved Alec, I didn't like Alec for most of this book because he annoys me. But when he just like, it's a bit hypocritical of him to do this, but when they're getting in the elevator and to leave Jace alone, and at the last minute he pushes her out to make them talk.
Oh, thank God.
It's brilliant because make them talk, but also do that yourself. Take your own advice and go talk to Magna.
That made me laugh, but that just makes you think that like it shows you how much a relationship has come on and how much he actually does care for Clary now because he wants them to like be together. She's like, stop being such stubborn fucks and just talk. But it's like pot kettle black, mate. Pot kettle black.
Yeah.
And I think we accidentally missed the giant thing of the demon babies.
Oh yeah. The whole plot of the book is
rooms with human babies.
This whole cult trying to recreate Sebastian.
Which actually, because the only reason I wanted to talk about it, which proves my point, is how it's like this massive deal, but we barely hear about it really. Like, that's the one thing I think the TV show Don't Kill Me did better. Because they were like, oh, here's this massive thing, like we're going to get a cult that wants to remake him, so we're going to inject babies with demon stuff. But then it was like, oh yeah, it was really shocking when there's just this room full of dead babies, but it probably only lasted like 3 pages.
Yeah.
To be fair, Alec and Izzy did then get attacked by loads of people that aren't really people anymore.
Yeah, but the person that attacked her
I didn't like that.
But the person that attacked her was like already dying.
Yeah.
So she was just it was kind of like a nothing situation.
But I feel like they were still pretty strong because they had like demon blood or something in them. They'd been injecting like demon blood, and it made them strong, but they would die from it.
Yeah, so they injected it to the parents so that when they gave birth to the baby was born with it in them, and they were trying to sort of find a way to make the babies live the way that Sebastian did.
Because when they were all getting like slaughtered by the Shadowhunters and everyone else who joined in. And I put, this makes me quite sad. They're just brainwashed humans. And then you get further down the same page and it says, Alec had fought creatures like this before, the cult servants of demons. Almost all that was human about them had been consumed by the demon for energy, leaving nothing but a murderous yearning to kill and a human body dying slowly in agony. And I just put, you're trying to make me feel better. Like, I feel bad that they're just brainwashed humans, and then on the same page it's like, they're not really humans though. I just have emotions, let me carry on. Okay, it wasn't needed. I was sad. We were killing a lot of people, like normal people. But that was my little rant over. Sorry, that was just one point I wanted to do.
No, that's the thing though. Like, that was such a massive part of the book, and we've literally just glazed over it. We were just like, oh well. Babies with claws.
Not bad. It was just like 99% bad.
Yeah.
They're like James Bond villains.
Yeah.
I liked the ending in this book. Definitely makes you want to pick up the next book. Yeah, because it literally ends with like, Sebastian's back. Are we surprised?
Yeah. I'm now like going to the last page, like, wait, what happened at the end?
Yeah, just like remember. It's just that we are one now, little brother. You and I, Sebastian said, we are one.
My annotation says, oh, damn. That's how I ended the book.
So, yeah. Another stupid Clary moment. I mean, we could go all day for stupid Clary moments. Leaving Jace alone at the end. I get wanting to give him a moment, but she could have stayed close by. Yeah, she could have literally just gone inside the doors, let him have his moment, because then she would have seen what happened and been able to get someone to get help. Although, let's be real, she probably would have like jumped off the roof or something going up.
Got herself injured. Like,
if I roll when I get to the bottom, I'll be fine.
Stop, drop, and roll.
So even though, like, knowing what's going to happen, so you know that she shouldn't leave him alone, reading it back, you're like more frustrated going, but why are you leaving? Like, give me a valid reason why you've left. You don't have one, fine.
You feel yourself like wishing you could change the plot, being like, and then she stands by the door and gives me space. You're like, well done.
Wasn't there a reason that she didn't want Jocelyn to see Sebastian?
I think so.
Yeah, which, okay, fair, but she could have just stood by the elevator.
Yeah.
And waited for Jocelyn to come up and be like, don't go out there.
Mm-hmm.
She didn't have to actually leave and go downstairs.
Yeah.
Like, I'm just going to leave and go however many floors down, not be able to hear you, see anything that's going on. You're not going to be able to contact me.
You're going to be disappeared by the time everyone gets up there.
Like, you've literally just been possessed. We could probably start this going again now because we've had a bit of an if. But rather than
still haven't had that ritual on you, so you can be obsessed again.
I'm just gonna go. Okay. I don't know why I like these books so much, because I cannot stand most of the characters.
But it's a typical YA thing, isn't it? Where they give you all these high stakes situations, and you know, because of the type of author that she is, she's never going to kill off a main character. Like, her main characters are always going to be there, and everything's going to conveniently wrap up. Which I'm not
I mean,
gonna lie.
technically, she did kill Jace and Simon. But then she brought Simon back and brought Jace back.
Yeah, I think that's what it is. Like, obviously I haven't finished all of the books. She has to do it at some point, otherwise I lose all faith. And I'm trying not to look at you, Becca, in case you react. But
I'm literally keeping a straight face. I'm not giving anything away.
Every character so far that we love that's died then comes back. There are no stakes. We're like, just strut up to Lilith and be like, no, and you're going to be fine.
This 1,000-year-old vampire, like, I kill with my stamp of Cain, whatever, mark of Cain. But yeah, no.
Like, at this point, I don't know why it's always Lisa that makes me think of this. But she could literally walk up to someone and be like, naughty, and walk back off. She'd be fine.
No. Like, stop it now. Oh, definitely.
I can see that. Let's put Lisa as the main character in this book. Stop it.
Oh.
I used to imagine like a hand on a hip. What did I tell you?
What did I say?
You know me so well.
I do. I agree with Ellie here. I like how there's more like multi perspectives now in this one. But yeah, Cassie does love a cliffhanger ending. Don't stop expecting those.
That's why I am kind of grateful that every time I've read them, there's not just been one out. Like, I've always been able to carry on, and then somehow stopped. Like, wanting to rather than stop my publication. Stop my publication is a lot.
I got caught up for just as Lord of Shadows was about to come out. So between Lady Midnight and Lord of Shadows, I only had a few months. But then after Lord of Shadows, I read the day it came out. And then I had a year and a half until Queen of Fairy. And now I'm just in pain because Chain of Iron came out March 2021. And Chain of Thorns coming out till January 2023.
That's a gap.
It was supposed to be March this year, then it was November this year, and now it's January next year. Pain. Oops. This is part of the reason I decided to do this read along, to fill the time with some Cassie.
I feel like I forget that it's still going. That like we are not going to catch up in time.
It is coming to an end, though. To be fair, there's literally Chain of Thorns, the third book in the Eldest Curses, and then we've got the Wicked Powers trilogy, which is the one I'm most looking forward to, but I can't say why because you haven't got those characters in the storyline yet. And
just
then I don't.
Trilogy. It's coming to an end. Just another trilogy.
No, but that is it. I don't know if there's going to be any more short story collections, but that is the end. The last Wicked Powers book is the end.
Are they going to be adult books then?
She is actually writing a book called, I think it's Swordcatcher, which is her first non-Shadowhunters book, but I can't remember if it's YA or adult. But yeah.
I don't think, we've really gone off topic now, but I don't think I would read a Kathy Clare book that isn't Shadowhunters. Like, I don't actually love her writing. I'm always finding things that I'm like, I don't like this. But it's like, I enjoy the whole universe she's made. So I'm just kind of going along with it. But if I was like starting a new fantasy series and it had kind of the characters making stupid decisions, and I'd be like, oh, come on, I'm bored of this now. Like 3 stars, let's move on. So I don't know whether I want to read something else she does. Or
See,
just
I read
the
the Magisterium series that she co-wrote with Holly Black, and it's
yeah.
you know when people were like, oh, I need a new magic school series to read because of reasons. I'm always like, read Magisterium. It's a middle grade. It's like it borders middle grade and YA, but it is technically middle grade, and it is amazing, and I love it so much. But she's also got a short story in a anthology book, which is really good as well. But yeah, I don't know what it's going to be like for a book that's just her and not Shadowhunters. So that's going to be interesting. But I'm gonna. She's an author for me. So my favourite books by Cassandra Clare would have to be Infernal Devices.
Oh, they're coming up soon, aren't they?
I mean, my favourite character is from the Infernal Devices, but my favourite series is the Dark Artifices, because wait till you meet the Blackthorns.
Oh, is this? Wait, no. Oh, yeah, it is. The Iron Trial?
Yes, that's the first one.
Cool.
I think it's the Iron Trial, Copper Gauntlet, Bronze Key.
So she couldn't even stick to one book in this.
It's a 5-book series. Each follows a different year at the school, so it's a magic school series. It's very good. I really enjoy it. It's so good.
Potential.
Tell you what, she didn't stay long before she was willing to kill characters like that. I won't say what, but the end of Red Scrolls, I feel, definitely proves she does like her character resurrections. I can't remember what happens at the end of Red Scrolls. Oh yeah, we forgot that she killed Max. Max stayed dead.
Oh yeah.
Oh
yeah. Okay, but as much as we all love Max,
he wasn't a main character.
Yeah, he was a very minor character. He was barely in it.
Yeah,
this is true. It's going to be weird reading something by Cassandra Clare that isn't Shadowhunter. For me, it's more going to be weird reading something by Cassie that's only by Cassie, because obviously I've read the Magisterium, but not everyone has. Not many people know about it, and I'm like, why?
No, I literally just found out about it, and you've probably talked about it loads, and I've just not taken this information in.
That'll be an interesting read. Dark Artifices are the only ones I have not read. I started book 1 but stopped when you announced the read along. I will say, of those 3, Lady Midnight is a bit slow, because obviously it's introducing new characters, it's following new characters, but Lord of Shadows and Queen of Air and Darkness are literally everything. I love them so much. And you get to meet so many new characters, and it's like, yay! You fall in love with them. I'll make sure, Lisa, you know the list of characters that are bounds for you, because they're mine.
I was just skimming through in case there was something we hadn't mentioned. And speaking of how stupid Clary is, whatever she's called, when Jace tells her to leave and she doesn't leave, she's hiding behind a hedge.
Oh God!
I literally thought, silly girl, Clary. Because I'm like, are you actually a tit? Like, he has given you an exit, and you've gone, I better stay. I'm not going to go
hide behind this.
Just going to go. Like, leave.
Like, it doesn't even take Lilith long to realise she's hiding there.
She's still there. She's like, who, me? Like, infuriating. I'm like, at this point, it's not that she needs to stay to help fix it. Leaving could mean she could get help. She doesn't know they're in the building, but she can try something else rather than just going, I'll just watch. Literally,
that was the perfect opportunity to get help. But this is Claire.
As I was like flicking through, I saw myself put silly girl. I was like, oh, hang on, here we go. More to say.
I love how you always know that if there's a comment like that, you know exactly which character it is as well.
Yeah.
Like there's no context. It's never going to be about Izzy.
No.
But I think we've gone through everything now. Do either of you have anything else, or anyone in the comments have anything else?
I'm just looking forward to that. Oh.
When Jace's mark like stitches itself back up, well, rune, sorry, I don't know why I went with mark, because it says the mark gleamed, and I just put, oh no, because even though I knew that was going to happen, it's like, well, it doesn't need to tell us that that means he's going to be recontrolled and blah blah blah. It's just, and it's stitching back up. You're like, oh no.
Oh no. No.
That's literally what I was doing in my head to write that down.
Oh god, this is gonna be fun, isn't it?
I feel like I just need to calm down with the trying to make things funny, but this is how I read it.
I really just want to get your book.
Yeah, you just want all of mine.
Yeah. Just so I can see the comments like, Chloe. There's another Chloeism right there.
Chloe's.
Thank you for joining. Yeah, I'm gonna leave it a week because I'm still doing like the Eurovision-a-thon, which I fit City of Fallen Angels in. Do you know how? For France, because Cassie lived there when she was a child.
Counts.
It does. Helena said it counts. So I was like, yeah. And I was like, if I manage to get to Fallen Angels before that readathon starts, then I'll put City of Lost Souls instead. But it's fine. I use this one. So yeah, I'm
really sad because I can't start reading it yet. I'm going to be reading it at the start of second week of June because I have too much to do. So it's over there. It looks at me. So, oh wait, that means, I mean, you haven't invited me, but you won't get my funny comments.
Well,
you can send me pictures of them.
Yes.
I'll be like, this is what Chloe thought of this bit.
Yeah, because I think it works out to the day that you will probably do this next month will be like 2 days before my exams. So I will not be taking a break to be funny. Like, it's just not, my brain won't have the power.
Saturday the 4th of June.
Yeah, not gonna happen. Yeah. My exams are the 7th and 8th.
Oh no.
I have to stay overnight in Birmingham.
Oh.
I've booked a £63 hotel room with no window. It's a cupboard. But work couldn't pay for it. So
63 is a lot to not even have a window.
Apparently, people are likely to go to Birmingham in July. Who knew? June, rather. It's June. God, I was really hoping for another month there. But yeah.
Why won't work pay for it?
Because it's not essential. Because I can travel an hour or so each day. Which, yes, I can. But that takes an hour or so out of my studying.
Yeah.
Which, if I fail, they then have to pay for a resit. So pay for a hotel, but no, it's fine.
Get in the bin.
This is not the point of this live show. I was just having
Thank you for joining. Fingers crossed this month's book. Won't be reading it till the end of the month as I have 4,500 word project during not 2 days, 10 days.
Good luck.
Good luck. I need to actually catch up on this series. Yeah, but it's a reread for you, so it's not so bad. I'm about halfway through book 5. Nice.
Yeah.
I think I'll be reading Lost Souls at the end of the month when I'm on holiday.
Oh,
nice.
Jealous.
I'm still on Queen of Her Own Darkness. Still, Emma. Still. Oh,
By the time you finish that, we'll be there.
The thing is, I devoured it on the first read, and then the second read, and then the third read. I was supposed to be buddy reading it with Liv, but she DNF'd it. So I was like, right, I'm gonna just binge it.
I do find these very, very easy to binge. Like, I read this in basically one sitting again because I can just go, okay, cool. Like, there's never a good time to stop. It just continues.
Well, I can tell you, I've somehow got the post-it. I read like this much in one sitting, and then I got really tired, so I read that the next day.
That is exactly what I did too. I took a Sunday off from studying and read about that much, and then the Monday night in bed, I was like, right, come on, let's finish this. Yeah. So I did exactly the same.
I'm glad I got to participate in this one. I'm glad you did too. Still on my first read. I don't even try and reread the series. I'm that behind. Just read from where we're up to.
Yes, agreed.
And then it's one a month. But on that note, thank you everyone for joining. Thank you both for coming and chatting about it. And I'll see you next time. Bye.